Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds. It's Lene, the Crazy Geek Crafter, and this is part 5 of the Scotland Folio. We're almost there, people. Just this one and another one to go, and then I'm somewhat finished. This project is never truly finished, you know, but we're trying. So we have to get this road trip in order. That was where we left off last time. And now I have enough pictures for all the pages of my waterfall. It's again that tricky thing where you have to remember that one page equals 2 photos. Not just one. I picked this one to be the cover of the it's called the Haggis tour, actually, the tour we took, and I picked this one because it represented the countryside very well. Most of the day was quite grey. There were a few times where we actually saw blue skies and there was some sunshine, but we got a good look at what an everyday Scotland would look like, I think. Like you see this picture here when we got to the National William Wallace Monument. There was actually blue skies. It was a very nice walk, a bit steep up to the, I'll call it a tower, but up to the monument. It was a very nice walk. You may remember I mentioned that I made a boo-boo with the waterfall, so that's not going to be a straight waterfall. These two are going to follow each other, and then the last page will be on the slant. It's gonna go upwards instead, because I glued the pictures on that way. That was my bad, but why not make it interesting? Doesn't need to be the same all the time. It's just a crooked waterfall, I guess. I would say most of the inside is taken care of now. I still have to figure out the outside of the folio, how to deal with that. So let's do that. I have to say this project was very big. It took up a lot of space, but I shuffled things around and made it work out. Now here I made an error. I only made a 2 centimeter score, but I was supposed to do a 4 because it's supposed to go all the way down that side, and 2 won't cut it. So I'm just going to take the other side of the paper and score it at 4, and that's going to be the page. The flap to close the folio, so to speak. Now I just have to glue it on. And at some point I scored this piece to go in over part A of the folio, if you can call it that. So I'm going to have to cut that tiny flap off. It's just in the way. And it doesn't, I can't just glue it all the way down because it's too long for that. And scoring it is just, it'll be a hassle. And you won't see this. I'll cover it up with some pattern paper to strengthen this side and of course to hide what I just did. Now here's another lesson. Remember to measure before you make your pocket. I wanted this the brochure I made for the trip, where it had all the practical information on what we're doing when and who to call if you got lost, or your insurance company and so on and so forth. I made a brochure where you can fill in your personal needs and the practical needs of the entire group, so everyone would know everything. So I wanted this to be in the folio, but I should have made the pocket wider because otherwise the folder wouldn't fit in there. Yeah, I was one of the organizers of this trip. So, but now first some pattern paper. Have to remember that pattern paper, and that's the good thing. I can just make more whenever I run out. I love that. I don't think I'll ever make a folio with an actual paper pad. I don't think I could handle that if I ran out. What if I couldn't get another one? That would be exhausting and stressful. So when you are making the front page for your folio, the front page and the flap, you have to remember that this is where you need some kind of closing for your folio. And I'm going to do it with the string I have. So I'm going to make a hole, put a hole enforcer around it, of course. These are homemade. I made them with my Scan'n'Cut. Pretty easy. I made them fit with one of my holes on this hole punch. So I'm going to make 2 holes, I believe, in this. Can we see it? No, just the one. One hole. For now. Just I use a pencil to make sure that it's in the right spot. There we go. I enforce it on both sides just to make sure, you know, this is going to keep my my project closed, so it needs some strength. Then I need a hole on this side so that I can tie the sides together. Just need to find the middle, because at least here on the front it should look nice, right? I didn't measure much on the inside. Everything was kind of like, I think it's about there. I do put a hole enforcer on the inside, even though you won't see it, and you might argue you won't need it, but still the strength is needed when you have to use this to keep everything shut. And then I decide to make another hole, so that I can make one string that you tie in the middle. Enforcing the holes. And then I put the string in before I glue down the page. And have remember to adjust so you know you can actually tie it, so that you don't have too little on one side and far too much on the other. Because this was the only piece I had left of this twine. I'll put on another hole enforcer. This one is mostly, I think, for aesthetics. It looks nice, but it's still strength. This is now, what, 5 layers thick? So it shouldn't rip when I go to tie the string. I am doing a test tie and it works. There's enough string, so yay! I can move on to covering more parts of the folio, which is what a lot of time goes by doing. Sorry, I just lost word there. I really love this paper, so I picked it out for the back because I really love it. In the beginning I thought I was going to put some pictures on the back, but I figured when I slide it in and out of my bookcase that might not be the best idea to have things that can actually get too stuck on each other. So the back side is going to be plain. I'm going to put some decorations on front. That'll be the next video though. But the back will be plain, so when I put it next to another folio which has things on the front, it won't stick as easily. At least that's the thought. That's the plan. Now I think it's time for a tiny break, and then we'll hop on over to the last part of this production, part 6. So be right there.